This was ages ago. I wouldn't buy any coffees outside. I'd save that money, earning peanuts. I had the mentality of saving. The situation has changed because I made those initial thoughtful decisions. You save a little here, save a little there. There's no point blaming the economy, inflation. These are all things that are beyond your control. Save what you can now. Hey everyone, it's Opie here for another video where I talk about health, wealth and happiness. So I read a book a while ago, ages ago, called The Latte Factor. And the premise of this book is that the amount of money you spend buying a coffee latte, if you save that money and invested it, you'll be better off in the long term. And obviously the latte is just one thing, but the author goes on to make you realize that there's all these other little expenses that come up in your life where if you take that and invested it, it would benefit you in the long term. So this was ages ago, obviously, maybe 15, 20 years ago I read this. If I said the same thing today, I reckon people will crack it because they'll be like, hey mate, it's not my avocado toast that's not allowing me to buy a house. It's basically the house of prices and the economy and so forth. And look, there is an element of that, but I will go back to saying this. So a long time ago, as I was reading that book, I remember I was working, I was at uni and I was working basically just a call center job, and I would take my lunch to work every day. Thankfully my mom made my lunch, so it was fairly easy for me. I would just take that and eat it. I wouldn't buy any coffees outside. I'd save that money. I was earning peanuts at the time. Well, not peanuts, but very low, okay? So I just couldn't fathom even actually just spending, my hard-earned dollars to buy a coffee, buy lunch, or anything like that. And I couldn't believe when my colleagues were doing this on a regular basis either. So I had the mentality of saving, and I didn't do a hell of a good job back then. I should have done better, but I still did something to the point where I was able to save some money, invest, and so forth. Fast forward 2 decades, now obviously the economy's changed, things have gone up now, and please don't take this the wrong way, but now it makes no difference to me at all on what I do with my lunch money, my latte money. Often if I go out to eat and there's a bunch of people, I'm the one that's paying, and I'm gladly happy to buy everyone lunch, no issues. I do that often. And as I said, don't take this the wrong way that I'm bragging or anything. It's just lunch or coffees or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is the situation has changed because I made those initial thoughtful decisions where I thought things through, and I would invest that money into useful projects. Just to give you an idea of how very little I was making back in the days, when I used to go to my accountant with my wife and we do our tax returns, my accountant would laugh at me. He would laugh in my face going, ha ha ha, Opie, your wife made more than you again. And I've just gone, oh, I know. And good on her. She was crushing it, right? Which is really good because we didn't have any kids back then. She was working full time. She was managing, and she was just crushing. And little old me was bringing in like 60K back then. So just to give some perspective on what things were happening and how things have evolved because you make simple decisions. And I know avocado on toast might just cost you $20, but you save a little here, save a little there, and these little things compound, right? And that's the premise of that book, and I think it can be applied to a certain extent today. I had one of my tenants who was a lovely guy, very young guy, maybe 20, 21 years old, and I gave him this very similar advice the other day because I really wanted him to succeed and be somewhere. But when I see him in person, right, he is dressed far too well to be saving his money, if you know what I mean. So it's like all brand labels and flashy shoes, and you can tell this guy is not saving his money, whereas I'm dressed like a bum, right? My stuff is from Target. I know I'm wearing a nice shirt now, but I didn't buy this. This shirt was a birthday present from my sister-in-law. Thank you. So that's what I'm trying to say. So circling back, if you feel like you're not getting ahead, there's no point blaming the economy. There's no point blaming inflation. These are all things that are beyond your control. Save what you can now, even little by little. Once you get to a certain amount, say $1,000, put that $1,000 away into some sort of index fund, and then let that grow. Once that grows, you can roll that into real estate or whatever you need, or you can just continue to grow that, until you need to withdraw it again. So that's it. I'll wrap it up. I hope you got something out of this. Don't feel like that, your avocado and toast is what's holding you back. Sorry, don't tell you. Let me repeat that.
So that's it. I'll wrap it up. I hope
You got something out of this. Don't think that it's not your avocado and toast that's not holding you back, because it might be. But just do a sum of all the things that you're spending and figure out where you can save even $100 a week and make that compound. All right, I'll wrap it up. Thank you very much. Have a good one. See you in the next one.